When you're getting started in real estate investing, there's a lot of information coming at you that can get lost in the shuffle and leave you feeling pretty confused. For example, does building your cash buyers list or finding that deal come first? In this video, I'll be sharing how easy it is to find cash buyers using batch leads, along with a few tips and tricks that we hope are helpful to you guys. Also, just a quick disclaimer that some of the information in this video may be blurred out for privacy purposes, but you'll be able to see everything in your own account. So truthfully, finding the deal or the cash buyer first doesn't have to make a huge difference. Let's say you are fortunate enough to locate a cash buyer first. This can be great because they can let you know what type of properties they are likely to invest in, at what price point, and the area, which will ultimately make your search for that deal a lot easier. But on the other hand, what takes the most skill and practice is finding a good deal, and luckily Batch Leads makes it incredibly easy to build your list of those deals and to also find those cash buyers if you already have a deal under contract. So don't worry too much about a perfect order when you're just jumping into it. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to jump into my Batch Leads account, and we'll go over to the list search function over here on the left, and in this case we're going to be looking for cash buyers by a specific location nationwide or with a really specific boundary. So I'll just go to the search bar and go to Phoenix, Arizona. Select your market, just wherever you are doing business. So now that we've pulled that up, you can see I have no filter set right now. There's pulled up a little over 400,000 properties. Now I haven't set anything here yet. The first thing you'll want to take note of are these awesome quick filters at the bottom, and towards the very right you'll be able to see the cash buyers section. So obviously we're going to want to niche this down to make sure that we're actually pulling cash buyers rather than just people, from out of state that maybe just legitimately purchased a property with cash. So 114,000 properties are coming up. We're going to narrow that down first and go to the filter button at the top. Open this up, and the first thing that we're going to want to do is go down to the cash buyers section. So we'll start here and add a few other filters. Now I want to first go to the cash purchases and make sure that is clicked on yes. So these need to be purchased with cash when I filter this out. And I'm going to also say the exclude the properties where the mailing address and the property address are the same. So I don't want the people that bought the property with cash to be living there. I want to make sure that these are investors, they bought the property, and they do not reside in that home. So we're going to go ahead and select this so that the mailing address and property address are different. And then we're going to go to also the purchase date. I want to make sure that these homes that I'm pulling up have been purchased within the last 2 years, and then you'll see kind of why I do that in just a second. But I want to make it long enough ago so that they had some time to buy that property, flip it, and then sell it again. So I'm going to go to the date right here, and we will change this to 2020. Okay, to now, and press this little check mark. Perfect. All right, and then we're going to go up to the MLS status section, and I want to go put this on the listing date. I want this to be within the last 12 months. So they were going to be selling this property, within a year. So once again, coming back to the idea of they bought it 2 years ago, or within that 2-year time frame, they flipped it and then they sold it. So they owned it for a short amount of time before selling it again, basically. So we'll go to the last 12 months, and then I want to go to the MLS status here as well and go to sold, kind of going hand in hand with that. So sold within the past 12 months is what we're looking for. And then you'll see these filters adding up on the right. So just to reiterate, we want these to be, of course, they're in my market that I searched for. The MLS listing date, that was a year or within that 12-month period. The status has been sold. Cash purchases, yes. And then the purchase date was around 2 years ago, anywhere between that period. And then we're excluding properties that have the same mailing address as the property address. So once again, we want those to be different. So I'll go ahead and press apply. And you can narrow this down even more if you'd like to. So you can see over to the right that there are close to 2,000 properties found. So what you could do with this, super easy, is that you could of course just click on the addresses and save them to your account, or you could just save the whole list so that you can skip trace those and get their phone numbers and email addresses and start reaching out to them and building those relationships and letting them know maybe if you already have a deal under contract, you have something for them that you want to bring, or maybe you're starting by building those relationships first so that they can let you know what to look for and what they're likely to invest in. So let's just click on a couple of these. I'm going to go to this property, and I'm just going to click on the address to open up the details. You can see lots of different things about the property details at this point. But first I'm going to go to sale and loan, and then I'll bring up one of our awesome updates that have been brought in just a couple months ago. So under sale and loan, let's just take a look at this one. So you can see that they bought it on the 31st of January in 2017. Okay, and let's see how much they bought that for. So they bought it for $300,000, and then check this out. This is awesome. So when you go back over here, you can see the date that was sold again, and that was on the 1st of August of 2021. And over here for the sale price was 1.1 million. So you can start looking at the photos here. Let me just expand these so you can get a better look and kind of see what they've done to the property to take it up to that sale price from where they bought it. And we'll just check this out. So super updated, super nice appliances. If you actually go to the owner profile, this is an awesome spot, and this just proves this is definitely somebody that, depending on the types of properties you're going after, obviously this sold for 1.1 million, so they may be looking for those larger scale properties, but it gives you an idea of the type of properties that they are likely to invest in. But here, if you go to owner profile, it will show you can see that this is some kind of LLC or trust up here. So this is an LLC, and they have pages and pages of properties they own. So under owner profile, this is an awesome update that we've brought in recently, where even in the case if you're reaching out or you're interested in a property that you'd like to purchase, you may go to the owner profile and realize that they may not want to sell, they may want to buy and become a cash buyer on your list. So we're just going to take a quick look at one other of these properties. And same idea, we'll go over to the sale and loan. So these are going to be the two factors when you're diving into those details. Okay, so they bought it in 2019. And let's check out what they bought it for. So another really awesome example, they bought it for $250,000, and then they sold it for $975,000 on what date? Okay, and just looks like a little over 2 years later. Or 3 years later. So really, really amazing to be able to see that information, and super simple too. Once again, check out that owner profile, and don't forget about that to be able to see maybe they're building their portfolio, and you're able to dive in deeper and kind of see what types of properties as well before even reaching out to them. And then we'll just look at these photos and kind of see what they've done to this property. Really nice and updated. So super simple to be able to do this. You could either just go through and select a custom amount and just start with a small group, or you could just grab almost all 2,000 of these. Once again, skip trace those, get their contact information. And the most important thing is you want to build those relationships so that as you're continuing to find those deals, first, you'll have an idea of what types of properties you're going after and what the cash buyers on your list are looking for and what they're likely to invest in. And then you'll also be able to come to your cash buyers when you have a deal and have that contract written up. All right, so as you can see, it's not only great within Batch Leads to start building your list of motivated sellers, helping you find those great deals, and wherever you're at in your business, whether you have a deal that you're ready to look for a cash buyer for, or you're trying to build your cash buyers list, it doesn't have to be hard at all with Batch Leads. So just to reiterate, going in there and making sure that the properties you're pulling up have been cash purchases and they've been sold and bought in a certain time frame, to be able to really dwindle that down and niche that list down, making sure to go in and download those and skip trace them to get their cell phone numbers, their email addresses, and start building those relationships and letting them know what contracts you have available for them. Thank you so much again for joining us on Batch TV. Be sure to leave a comment below if you got something out of today's video or if there's something else you'd like to see in the future. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and hit that like button so that we can keep creating great educational content for you for free.